What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and I made a video about the APX A1 carry being not the greatest handgun in the world. But there's a lot that it has going for it, and actually, as I've owned it, I've actually started liking it more and more and more. And I'm going to tell you the exact use I have for this thing, and that it will be going in my carry rotation, believe it or not. Now, the Beretta APX A1 carry cost $219 when I got it. And what they're having right now is a $50 rebate. You're now dropping the price to about $170. It only came with one 8-round mag. I just ordered the 6-round mag, part of the reason what I'm going to be using this for. So now we're back up to $200 for 2 mags and a solid Beretta. Now, obviously, we're cleared and safety checked right here. And I'm going to just go ahead and drop this slide because I want to show you guys something. And I'm going to give you guys all the positives about this handgun. Look at this. Look at those rails. Look how beefy those rails are. Look at that ejector. How strong, beefy. Look at the pins, the springs. Everything is beefed up like crazy on this handgun. And whereas that's a good thing, it's also the downfall. That's what gives it such a tall length, being longer than a Glock 43X, while being only 8+1. But at the same time, this thing is built like an absolute brick, an absolute tank, and basically a rust-proof handgun. So stay tuned. I'm going to tell you what this is actually going to be doing in my carry rotation. Because typically my carry rotation is about 5 handguns. And so in order to break into that, out of all the handguns I have, it's pretty amazing. So there's a lot of things that are going for it. You go on YouTube, and just like my first YouTube video with it, I only shot 200 rounds at the time. That review is up. I didn't like the trigger very much. But I dry fired it about 1,000 to 1,500 times over the weekend. Simply doing this right here. Then I also started using it on my laser fire system, right? And the trigger just gets better and better and smoother and crisper every single time I do it. It's absolutely pretty amazing. I have not seen a trigger break in so nicely like this thing, which is actually pretty interesting. Now, this would never be my appendix carry. I'm just going to tell you that now. But if you guys don't know or have never seen this channel before, I am a licensed new construction plumber. So, you know, that's the plumbing before it's ever used, right? We're installing the plumbing in the underground that leads to your main, you know, where all your feces and waste go. Then we're also doing the rough-in, which, you know, is all your pipes and water lines and stuff. And then you also do the finish, which is your sinks, you know, hooking up your traps, putting the toilets in. That's what we do. So we're being active, we're constantly getting dirty, that whole sort of thing. This is now going to become my work carry gun, and it's absolutely perfect for that. The uses for this handgun for that price point are basically endless, right? You can use this as your main carry. 8+1 is plenty. It's extremely thin, so very easy to conceal. And I will show you, this is my work carry at the moment. Doesn't look very good, does it? I'm not going to lie, it's ran great, and this slide was actually a gift to the channel, so shout out to you. I really appreciate that from the person who gifted it to me. But as you can see, it gets dirty. It gets beat up. It gets scratched. Look at this thing. And it stays in a pocket holster. Look at the grip. I mean, it's crazy. Does it run? Of course it does. This thing rips. And what do I carry? Underwood Extreme Defenders. Now, for smaller handguns and pocket pistols, it's very hard for them to run Underwood Extreme Defenders, which is perfect for the state I live in because it gets cold, and therefore people have layers. And those are basically barrier-blind rounds that die off in a person, right? So basically, they won't exit a person, but at the same time, they can go through barriers and clothing and layers. So it's perfect for wintertime when people are wearing Carhartt jackets, layers, bibs, that whole sort of thing, right? And what surprised me was when we took this out, you know, we put it through like 200 and some rounds of just full metal jackets. It ate a whole box. I went and bought 124 grain gold dots. It ate that. And then I put 2 mags of 8 through it of Underwood Extreme Defenders. And they were the Platinum Edition. It had 0 problem feeding them, which actually was amazing. But once again, that all goes back to those internals, that design, the angle of the magazine, the polished feed ramp. It's actually a really solid handgun for the price. I don't know of any $200 handguns that can eat Underwood Extreme Defenders. Plus P rounds that are just, you know, they're made differently, right? The shape of them and stuff like that. So pretty dang amazing for this. This is now going to be my new work carry. I can't carry appendix at work. If I'm up gluing a pipe on my ladder and my shirt lifts up and a job soup sees it, I'm going to get kicked off the site. That'll cause problems for me at work, right? I like my job. I like my career. I like who I work for and all that. I don't want to cause problems. But at the same time, no one is ever going to take the right to carry wherever I want, right? So I need to have something on me. But I also am not an arrogant idiot that likes to cause problems. And actually, someone at my company got busted carrying. You know, it wasn't the biggest deal, but they did get busted and told they can't do it anymore. So therefore, I just lay low and I pocket carry, right? I've carried a Shield, a Ruger LC9S, so typically a single stack is great. The Shield was too big for pocket carry. The Glock 43 was great. The 42 was great. But this right here is the perfect beater handgun. Someone just said they ordered one for my review. Even though I gave it a mostly negative review at first, they still ordered one because they saw qualities in it that they liked. And plus the price, the Beretta name on it, you know you're getting quality. Plus, these are being sold for $400 on the Beretta's website. The only reason why they're so cheap is because they can't sell them. Because there's stuff like the P365, the 43X, there's the Hellcat, stuff with more capacity, right? Therefore, no one is buying these in this day and age. That allows us to come swoop in because they dropped the price so ridiculously low. That allows us to get a beater. You don't care about it. You can destroy it. It could be, you know, that set-aside gun, which is basically what it is for me. It's a handgun. I don't really care what happens to it, but it's going to be reliable and there when I need it. Plus, anyone who tells you 6+1, 8+1 isn't good enough, 1, just train. 2, carry good, reliable rounds. And 3, all you need is practice. I'm telling you, practice is key. And I don't mean just training outdoors and shooting at the range. What I mean by practice is sitting at home and using a laser fire system. Sitting at home and just practicing with that trigger. You can get really good without spending a whole lot of money. So this is an awesome handgun. Plus, typically at work, you're not going to be defending yourself. But weirder things have happened. So anyone who tells me you shouldn't carry at work, or I don't get why you carry at home. Because I can. Plus, anything pops off anywhere. When you don't have it or when you're least likely to expect it, that's when things happen. I am literally known for carrying 24/7. I always have something on me. It just is what it is. It doesn't harm me. It doesn't bother me, especially something this small, because I'm going to be carrying it with that flush mag. You know, fits in my hand. It's a great option. On top of that, awesome texturing on it. If I have sweaty hands, whatever the case may be, it's going to be perfect to, you know, latch onto and draw. Like I said, that trigger has gotten much, much better. The downside still to me are those sights. I don't like those sights, but once again, self-defense. Up close and personal. People say you need a red dot, you need a laser, you need a light. Tell me when you're defending yourself, you're going to like, okay, let me click that light first. No, you're going straight to the trigger. Things don't give you time like that. Self-defense doesn't give you time. It's not like, okay, everyone pause, turn the light on, resume. No, it does not go like that. It's you draw and you're shooting. You're rarely even using your sights unless it's a long-distance situation like a mall or a grocery store, and many states won't even let rounds go at that point, right? But at the same time, if you're not good with irons, you shouldn't carry a pistol. If you rely on a red dot, you shouldn't carry a pistol. The whole point of this handgun is to have something reliable, small, and that has a heavier trigger so you can pocket carry it. And that's exactly what I'm going to be using it for. Pocket carry. For work defense. And like I said, if you don't like that I carry at work, I don't care. I carry everywhere. My goal as a father and as a husband is to make it home to my kids at night. Plain and simple. And I'm going to do that. You know why? Because it does not hurt. It's hard to carry appendix because you have a tape measure, you got levels, you got all sorts of stuff. You're bending over, you're cutting pipe. You need something small that you can carry. And once again, I'd rather beat up a $200 gun than a $500 gun. Plain and simple. Plus, I'm getting a brand new, not used. You really can't beat the price. On top of that, if you beat up the frame from Cary, it is in a chassis system. And they sell the grip modules that aren't serialized. So you can buy as many grip modules as you want and keep swapping it out, which is actually a pretty cool thing. Now, one of my major complaints was the sights, and that still is a complaint. But at the same time, I complained about not having to buy an optics plate. The reason why that doesn't matter is I'm going to be pocket carrying it, and I'm not throwing a red dot in my pocket. That's absolutely ludicrous. That's ridiculous. That's not happening. That's just something. The whole point of pocket carry is being discreet and being able to draw. Typically, pocket carry is a little bit slower than appendix, even if you practice. Therefore, the lesser amount of things that can hook onto something, get caught while you're drawing, the better. Therefore, I do not want an optic on this thing. Therefore, I will not be putting one on there. It's actually a pretty solid gun when you add all that stuff together. I trust this more than my Taurus is. Nothing against Taurus. I just, that Beretta logo, I actually had one of these before it was optics cut and all that. I had this like 3 years ago, and I got rid of it. But that was just the upgrade. I didn't have a whole lot of money, stuff like that. But now that I have it back again, I actually realize what it's for. It's pretty snag-free. Nothing to interfere and cause malfunctions, and it's extremely smooth for when you're shooting it with that big, thick, heavy slide. So it's actually a pretty solid gun. The one downfall, like I said, is magazines. They're sold out of the 6-rounder on their website, but you can find them here and there. It's actually a pretty decent handgun, but everything is relative. If you're looking for something with an optics ready, with a light on it, blah, 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 you're not, with a rail, you're not getting that. You are getting optics ready, but, you know, this isn't a duty gun. This is a get-off-me gun, a personal defense weapon. We're not talking, you know, all these wannabe military and law enforcement that run around and act like they're going to get in a defensive pistol competition every day. Someone who tells you that 8+1 is not enough is crazy. If you let off 9 rounds and you haven't hit anything and you continue to shoot, you're probably facing charges, you're putting people in danger, and it's ridiculous if you can't hit 9 shots even with adrenaline. But like I said, most people are going to say, oh, I need 12+1, I need 10+1. That's fine. You do you, I'll do me. I do see a purpose for this handgun. Like I said, this is part of my testing. I'm going to let you guys know in a year from, or 6 months from now, in a year from now, after a couple thousand rounds, how this $200 handgun stacks up. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.